Hey, hubby hackers. So, someone recently asked me what is the most disheartening topics that I coach on. And this topic comes to mind first when I get asked anything similar to this. And it is the complication that happens in a marriage when the mom stops her husband from disciplining their kids. This happens at all stages of the kids growing up, but it tends to get the most heated when the kids are teenagers. And the mom could be in a heated debate, argument, whatever, with the teenager. And the husband steps in to both defend his wife and to teach the teenager how to respectfully deal with his wife, aka their mother. And all of those roles get mixed up in this bowl of chaos. And the coaching advice that I have in that scenario for the wife is to freaking stop. Stop. I have seen it come out very badly in that once that child grows up, a lot of times, young men, they end up very resentful because their parents couldn't get onto the same team. And then they end up reciprocating this cycle of a marriage that is out of order, where the kid gets to dictate the relationship between the parents because they get in the middle of what the parents have going on, as opposed to the parents being a team member, a team, right? Being each other's teammate and saying, no, you are not going to be the division between your mom and I, or between your dad and I, because we're a team. We were first and then we created you, so you're not about to break us up. And oftentimes, moms are so in their feelings about protecting their babies that they're actually harming their children. Those children need those bumps and bruises from their father to raise young men. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about a man raising a young man. But wives too often get involved, and then those young men grow up to not be men. And now they're weak and they're frail and they're emotional, and the wives don't know where things went wrong. Well, it went wrong with the wife not allowing the husband to do what he innately wanted to do, which was create a man, put some fear, a respectful kind of healthy fear into that young man, that teenager. And the mom gets in between and says, oh no, don't hurt my baby, or don't ever talk to my child like that. And here she is, a wife blessed enough to have a man in the house who wants to raise their son to be a strong man and understand his place and what the order of a home should look like. And instead, she creates a mess, a monster, chaos. So that is a topic very near and dear to my heart, because I have a boy who is now a grown man, and I had to be told many a times, stop, get out of the way. I love you. Do not think that I don't love our son. Do you not think that I'm here doing what I am supposed to be doing? What are you protecting him from? You're protecting him from getting the growth, the learning, the teaching, the type of hard love that he needs right now in this stage, or in this moment when he's reacting to you in a disrespectful way, or he's handling something out of order. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, is teaching him. So when you block that, what result do you think you're creating in this child when they become an adult? So that is one of the topics that is most near and dear to my heart that I could teach on until I'm blue in the face. I have talked about it in my book. There's a big cover of my book. I've talked about it in so many videos, and it's on my heart to speak about it again. Hubby hacker, wifey, if you want to become a hubby hacker and have influence in your house and have influence over your marriage so that things will turn out the way that you really want them to, where you truly are a happy wife and having a happy life, you have to resist that urge, because it is not a Christ-like urge to step in between your son and your husband or your daughter and stop that man from raising a faith-filled, strong, respectful person who has tough enough skin to survive this world. If you keep stepping in the middle, you're actually stopping God's process of what's supposed to happen. And there's all these single wives, single women out there. Single wives, that's oxymoron, right? There's all these single women out there wishing that they had a man in the house to help them raise and rear these children. But do they really want that? Because then the man steps up and he does his man thing, what God created him to do. And then the wife is like, stop! Don't talk to my child like that. Don't touch my child. Don't put them on punishment. Don't take that away. Let him do this. Let him do that. The dad says, hey, I'm looking at their life and the choices they're making and how focused they are. They shouldn't be playing basketball right now, or they shouldn't be going to that sleepover. And the mom is like, just let them live. And there's a consequence for that. It's one thing for it to happen once, but typically that is a pattern. And on the deeper level of that, those moms, especially with their boys, I have seen it over and over again, treat that son like he is the husband. It puts him in the wrong position. Confers with him behind the husband's back to complain and argue about dad and consult about how dad didn't handle this right, and dad is so mean, and now she's creating a team and a bond with her son. This should be the bond and the team that she has with her spouse. This is a blind spot in so many marriages, and I could talk about it till I'm blue in the face. And this video is now 6 minutes because I have, maybe next time I'll pull out the whiteboard and go way deeper into this issue. You want to be a hubby hacker. You want to be a happy wifey. You want to enjoy your life, enjoy marriage, and raise kids that you are going to be proud to say that you raised them, because the way they turn out has so much to do with what we did or didn't do, what we blocked from happening. And a lot of times wives don't realize how much they're blocking. And these poor husbands, I call them poor like I'm taking their side, but they should also be fighting, right? I had a fire husband. He said, hey, you are not going to make me regret the way we raised this child by stepping in the middle and raising a wussy. I want to use another word, but yeah, that's not what I want. I know that's not what you want. So sit down and, right? And it wasn't until my son at about the age of 13 said, Mom, stop, don't help. Because when you get involved, it's worse. Now my punishment, now dad's anger is even heightened because he had to tell you to stay in your place so that he could do his place. And what's his place? To father his freaking son, right? So many wives miss this. So many marriages end over this because the wife prefers to be married to her son than to be married to her husband. And it is so out of order. It is so perverted when you really think about it, but Eve bit the apple, and it's one of the perversions that have ingrained into our spirit that we are continuing to reciprocate generation after generation after generation. And then these young men that we have done this to grow up to be freaking pussies, and we can't figure out why, what's wrong, what happened to them. Oh, it just must be, chemical imbalance. We all have the potential for that. Some of us more than others, depending on what's in your bloodline. But the parenting is the most major factor, and we need to take responsibility and ownership for that so we can reverse the curse. We can reverse the curse, apologize to our children for doing them wrong, and not letting their fathers father them. So many single women out here talking about, I wish my man stayed, but they're really not ready for that, because when the man shows up, they get in between and they don't let that man father. And then we have consequences in who that child grows up to become. Whew, man. I keep looking at the whiteboard, like, how deep can this teaching get? It can get even deeper. I'm gonna close it at this. I want you to meditate and pray on these words, because they're not my words. I'm just a vessel. I wrote this book 5 years ago, Growing into a Mature Marriage from Kindergarten to College, because the words were so strong, the feelings, the examples of all the relationships I was watching, and really sitting back and taking note of the patterns that were happening throughout all of the marriages. Something my husband used to say to me that would piss me off is, you ain't special. And I'm like, what do you mean? But I'm God's child. He says I am special. And what he meant by that was, You're not unique if you think that these frustrations and these complications of relationship of life are special to you. So this whole mom son relationship where she's blocking the parenting from the father to create a king in this earth is not unique to you, mama. Stop. If you need to leave the room, if you need to close your eyes, plug your ears to train yourself to stop blocking that man from raising a young man of God or a young woman of God. Stop. You're not helping. You're hurting. You're hurting you. You're hurting that child. You're hurting your husband. And the other side of this is husbands. I'm teaching wives how to become hubby hackers, but you need to fight. And I am not talking about physical violence. I'm talking about doing something similar to what was done to me, what was said to me, along the lines of, I'm not about to let you, woman, create a future pain and headache for us because I let you block my instruction and my leadership and my guidance of this young man or this young woman, so that in 5 or 10 years from now, we're dealing with immaturity and dysfunction in this person because you and I couldn't get on the same team. So get on the same team. Hashtag hubby hackers. This video is kind of deep. The whole premise of the art of marriage and hubby hackers is that there is code that women can use to create the environment that they want, to bring the change that they want to see in their husbands. Spoiler alert, that change comes because we change in us, and that makes room for them to grow and to step up and for us to see the man that we want to see. We, a lot of times, are creating the headache. Okay, and this example that I'm talking about in this video is us creating headache. Deep, sorrowful, broken heart headache that lasts for years, maybe even a lifetime. So this is a code. Honor and respect your husband as the father of the children in the house and let him be that. And sometimes that may seem harsh. You want to protect your child. You want to be the nurturer, but you can be the nurturer and still be the queen who allows the king to do his job, so you don't end up with some irreverent, dysfunctional, chaotic people that you have raised and set out into this society. All right, I'm done with my rant. I hope that it touched you on a level that can bring some change, open your mind up to what's possible for how you need to reframe the way you think about parenting, the way you think about your husband, and the way you think about you and your role in this whole scenario, wifey, because you have a lot to do with a lot. You have a lot of power, you have a lot of control, and that is why I have coined the phrase and created the business hashtag hubby hackers. Hack your mind, hack your husband by changing yourself. The kids will align and life will be what it was meant to be. We can return to that Eden on earth. It's not supposed to be tears and frustration and miscommunication every day. That's actually hell on earth, and that's not God's intention for your life. All right, if y'all haven't done it already, get the book. If you want to join Hubby Hackers and get little pieces from me on a daily basis, go to the school app, The Art of Marriage, and request access. And let's get on this journey of making you the wife you're called to be, so that your children don't suffer, and so that you don't suffer, and so that your husband doesn't suffer. Okay, hashtag Hubby Hackers. I'll see y'all in the next one.